He good people.
So let's talk about the University of Miami. Last 30 years, you spoke about a little bit about this. It went from you, then transition over to Nevin, and then the last 20 years has been abysmal. Why is that, and why hasn't Miami been able to figure out? They had a decent season this year. They went 10-2. Some would say that it wasn't up to par having Cam Ward, that they lost a great opportunity to probably win a national championship. So what are your thoughts on why Miami still hasn't been back to prominence since 2001, 2002?
Well, the suits took over. You know, you got to remember, even going, and I always go back with the history of it, Miami didn't give a fuck about football. Mm-hmm. You know, when Stellenberger was there, they didn't think it was going to work. So you didn't have a bunch of boosters and suits and shit getting involved saying, oh, what should happen in football or not, right? And it was a period of time when Jankovic was there. You know, like I say, you know, it was big shit because the kids would walk around with the scarves on and they would go with the bandana, the Luke bandana, because they took on the life of the bad guys. Bad guy rappers, bad guy. It is all Miami. And then Jankovic, you know, tried to move them away from that. Donald Shalada came in, tried to move them away from that tough guy image, which still to this day, nobody gives a fuck about us. They just fucked us in the playoff.
Right.
Right? And so at the end of the day, you know, Miami started hiring these bullshit coaches. You know, again, South Florida is rich with talent. Mm-hmm. We've got more talent than anybody in the world. I mean, I did a documentary, and they did the numbers from 6 square miles in Liberty City. You got more football players in that area than you have in the entire fucking country when it comes to NFL and all that. Mm-hmm. They got away from that. They got away from who they were, and they tried to be corporate. Going down the line, they wanted to be Duke. They went through so many fucking changes other than letting real people coach and run the team. I remember he had a suggestion. I met him the one time at his house. Then we went to the game, and he had a suggestion for a coach. I forget that coach's name.
That was Houston Nutt at that time.
Houston Nutt at the time. And I was like, well, why would he say Houston Nutt? But at the time, Houston Nutt was hot.
Smoking.
He was fucking hot.
I remember.
You know, and the thing is, like, he would say Houston Nutt, then I would say Lane Kiffin. Mm-hmm. They ain't fucking with that.
Right.
That's a little too much risky for them. And if it's coming from him and it's coming from me, then they'll go total opposite direction of that. Mm-hmm. You know, and people like us have the pulse of the kids, have a clear understanding of what these young people want. And, you know, again, they'll go a different direction. And that's why I always call it the suits taking control of the program, and that's how the program eventually ended up irrelevant for so many years.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and you keep hearing, you know, from the people around the program that they're having an issue connecting with the inner city, you know, and trying to get those players there. They've done an okay job of trying to get that back, but this go around, this recruiting class, they fell back again.
Yeah, they wanna. It's like a bait and switch. Mm-hmm. They want to live off of the swag. They want to embrace the Billy Corbin documentary. Yeah. They want to embrace what the high life that Nevin had, the players and all the high life and the beautiful shit that he'll tell those stories and the beautiful times that they had. They want to embrace that, but they really ain't about that life. They get a coach that ain't. They always get coaches that's not about that life. You know what I'm saying? And so kids get baited into, and their parents get baited into, oh, we're going to be swag. The motherfuckers have no idea what swag is. Zero.
And let me chime in.
Yep.
Luke's 1,000% right. Man, he couldn't have said it any better. So a lot of times when I was having dialogue, he's right. They want the swag, but they don't really want the swag. They need it, but they don't want to, like, yeah, we're really about that. And I've seen it. It takes a Miami guy to know what a Miami guy is. And I'm going to give you a quick story.
That guy was supposed to be Mario Cristobal.
I'm going to let.
To a certain
being
extent.
honest, I mean, that
I personally have been on the outside watching in, so you'd probably have to direct those questions more at Luke, because he is a current high school coach with talented kids that head that way. So he could answer better than I could, even though I know Mario very well from back when. But as far as really knowing the pulse, you've got to be a guy who's been instilled and ingrained in that program. Him and I used to sit and talk about it. Our conversations were personal about like, yo, what we thought, yo, this dude should, this ain't the guy, that's the guy. But at least I know where it's coming from. So I'll listen to his answer as opposed to like one of these, know-it-alls or computer warriors that thinks they know what's up.
Right.
And they don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he's right. Like, man, it takes a Miami guy.